Hi everyone, this is Maria and I'm standing here in front of the Lincoln Shrine in Redlands, California. The coffin of President Lincoln, I should say the replica of Lincoln's coffin, is inside to commemorate the end of the Civil War and also to commemorate the anniversary of his death. So let's go inside. Okay, so we're inside the shrine and this is the main entrance here, and off to the side there are two museum rooms with artifacts, and so we'll go in there in just a second. And so here is the coffin, the replica. There are 5 that exist in the world. So let's get a closer look. Oh my gosh, imagine what it must have been like for all the people back then to see their president in a coffin like this one. And I believe he traveled, his body was traveling by train for weeks, I believe, so people could see him and pay their respects and mourn their president. And over here, it says, this is right here, it's a remnant of one of the flags. It says here, this silk remnant is from a 36-star flag that adored the interior of one of the funeral railroad cars in the Lincoln funeral train. About 3 days before Lincoln's assassination, he actually had a premonition about it, where he had a dream. And so he told his friend and biographer about it. I can't remember his name right now, so I can put that in the discussion box below. But he had this dream, and he woke up to this like stillness, and it was so quiet, and then he heard this weeping, and it sounded like people just crying and grieving, and he was wondering where it came from, and he saw himself just walking through the White House until he found a soldier and asked him who had died, and the soldier had told him, the president. And then he was assassinated 3 days later. Okay, I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to show you the bust of President Lincoln. It says on here, he being dead, yet speaking. Okay, let's go into the next room where there is an exhibit. There's an exhibit in the back corner here of this room, and it's titled Ford's Theater, Now He Belongs to the Ages. And there's some framed artwork here, and it's titled Death of President Lincoln. And you can see Lincoln on his deathbed, and people just weeping, and the men gathered there, and there's his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, and that looks like probably his son. And here's some more art. This one is titled The Assassination of President Lincoln, and you can see off to the right, that's John Wilkes Booth. It looks like a soldier there, Mary Todd Lincoln. Lincoln had 2 life masks made of him. This one was made while he was in office in 1865, early 1865. The other one was made before he was president, and he was beardless then, but here you can see that he has his beard. Murder, President Lincoln assassinated. As weepeth a fond mother her lifeless babe to see, so faithful Abraham Lincoln a nation's wept for thee. I've seen the teardrops dewing the cheeks of passers-by, but thou hast rose triumphant, thy spirit is on high. Wow, can you imagine the whole country was in mourning? And can you imagine, this was like just the end of the Civil War, and then this happens. And back here is an exhibit called A Nation Mourns, and in the center there's all these different photographs, but in the center is President Lincoln. And here is the funeral car, funeral carriage. And oh my gosh, you guys, this gives me chills. This is the original wreath, one of the wreaths that was on President Lincoln's casket. And it has been saved and preserved all of these years. Just amazing. And right over here to the right is in memoriam, a ribbon that was worn, and a silk ribbon. It says, in memory of our President Lincoln, today is first in the hearts of his countrymen. In this piece of art, you can see President Lincoln lying in state, and there's people who are walking by and grieving and paying their respects. And so there were literally thousands and thousands of people who paid their respects to President Lincoln. Now here is a photograph of President Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, at his inauguration. And you can see him right there in the center. And then right over here to your right, if you count 4 men over and see the guy with the hat and his arm in front of him, that is John Wilkes Booth. I overheard a docent tell some other people that were here, and so he was saying that John Wilkes Booth was like a famous celebrity. He was a stage actor. I guess he was very well known at that time. And because I was wondering what would he be doing at President Lincoln's inauguration. So maybe he was invited, I don't know, but I just find that so eerie. Here's a replica of a newspaper, and look at this headline: $100,000 reward for the murderer still at large. And so they knew it was John Wilkes Booth. I was just speaking to a docent, and I asked him how much was $100,000 in today's money, because I thought that was a lot of money in 1865. And he said probably about $1 million. I'm like, wow. I just want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And so I'm just going to take a moment here of silence for respect for our president, President Abraham Lincoln.